Hello and welcome back to another video in the series Study in Europe. आज हम बात करेंगे एक ऐसी कंट्री की जिसके बारे में ज्यादा किसी को पता नहीं है and that country is Malta. The first question that always comes up is भाई ये माल्टा है किधर पहले तो Malta is a country which is a small island just to the south of Italy. Now that is where this country is. But then it sounds very insignificant. But then why is it that suddenly Malta has picked up as an education destination? Now, a lot of us actually don't know that Malta is to Europe what Singapore is to Asia. Malta today is one of the hubs for blockchain, gaming, and tech companies in Europe. English being the primary language, as well as the facilities that the Maltese government is providing to the students and to people working in Malta, has made it a very good destination to go to in Europe. We'll come to the other aspects, but as always, starting first with the climate. See, Malta is one of those islands now which gets slightly warm climate. So when you talk of summers, you are talking about, say, 26, 28, 30 degrees of temperature, 30 degrees Celsius, obviously. But then for us as Indians, I don't think it is warm enough. So 30, 32 is pretty pleasant for us. As far as winters are concerned, you can expect anything between 10 to 16 degrees. And springs are pretty pleasant somewhere around, say, 18, 20 degrees. So climate is very nice. And it's a lovely climate to be in for all the 12 months in the year. Now, talking of Malta, the fields that Malta is actually known for are business and management, hospitality and tourism, information technology and software engineering, health sciences, being an island country, obviously maritime studies, and arts and design. These are the programs that a lot of students prefer to study in Malta. Coming to the tuition fee, Malta is one of those countries which will offer you the least tuition fees all across Europe. So it could be anywhere between, say, 4,000 euros to about 9,000 euros a year, which is the lowest that you will find in Europe. Also, the cost of living for a student is also not too high. You can say anywhere between 400 to 700 euros a month is what is good enough for any student, obviously staying there without any dependence. Now compare this to the other countries that we've spoken about in our other videos, which is somewhere around, say, 1,000 to 1,200 euros. So this is pretty much 50% of what it would be otherwise. Also, when a student is studying in Malta, the student is allowed to work 20 hours a week, right, on their visa, and they are allowed to work about 40 hours when in the break or when they are out of their semester. Malta, one advantage that we get there is that you will find a lot of British and French universities having campuses in Malta. So you can actually get a British degree, you can actually get a French degree at a much lower fees. For example, a university like Middlesex, it has a campus in Malta. And if you see, the fee that the university is charging in Malta is much lower than what they are charging in Middlesex in the UK. So you're actually getting a degree from that university at a much lower cost. One more reason why Malta is very popular is something called as the graduate refund scheme. ये बहुत सारे students को ये चीज पता नहीं है. Now what Malta does is, Malta says, okay, if you are a Maltese student or if you are a student from European Union, you come here, you stay in Malta, you study in Malta, and when you work here in Malta, then whatever tuition fee that you've paid, it is actually refunded you as part of your income tax credit. So now this is done over a period of 3 years. So in simple terms, whatever tuition fees you've paid within 3 years, you will get it refunded as part of your income tax credits. Now this is for encouraging people to stay in Malta and you can work there in Malta. But for us as Indian students, please understand this, we do not qualify directly into this scheme. Now what you are required to do is, you are required to study in Malta. Post your studies, you can apply for a 12-month work visa. Now, once that is done, once you start working in Malta, then you can apply for a residency permit and the work visa. And that is where, once you start paying income tax, that is where you might become eligible to get the advantage of this graduate refund scheme. But then a lot of students are taking advantage of this graduate refund scheme as well. So Malta is one of the lesser known options. Also, another big point that we have is that the cutoff in terms of age is one of the highest in Europe. So if you are someone who's 32, 33, 34, around around that age, your chances of making it to a Maltese university are much higher as compared to say what you would do maybe in a university in the United Kingdom. So if you're on the other side of 30, Malta again happens to be one of the easier countries where you can get a visa, where you can get an admission. So you can say that Malta is a little lesser known gem in Europe. If you fit into any of the criteria that I've spoken about, Malta definitely needs a thought. You need to have a look at Malta before you take a call on whether or not you want to study abroad. So just like Malta, there are some other hidden gems as well in Europe. Stay tuned and we'll keep coming back to you with more options in this video series. Thank you.